genius at work. World snooker champion John Higgins.
Hello, good evening. Welcome to Monday Tea Time's Snooker Live. Well, we are literally just about recovering after an amazing session of snooker this afternoon. We all managed to get a lie in this morning, which was quite handy, but this afternoon we were treated to some very, very dramatic snooker. Now, you may recognise the voice more than the face. This is Georgie Boy Riley from 5 Live. He's also been in the commentary box alongside Dennis Taylor for one of the Barry Hawkins and Ricky Walden sessions on Saturday. So, George, thanks for joining us to discuss what was an amazing afternoon. Neil Robertson, we know of course that he's on 99 centuries, one shy of what would be a very, very magic milestone. And my goodness me, didn't he get close?
I can't believe he didn't do it, to be honest with you. He had actually chances in each of the 4 frames. Frame 3 was the one when he was a fraction away with the black, but he went, 59, 69. We thought, hang on a minute, I mean, there's a couple of tricky ones here, but he might do it. Then the 3rd frame, when he came a little bit too low on the black, so it was a little bit trickier than it might have been, but it still, for the world number 1, looked like a gimme. And he said to us afterwards, he actually thought he was in. He struck it as well as he wanted to strike it, and then it doesn't drop. And then the reaction was just fabulous from the Aussie. And then he was straight back in the next frame. You sense a little bit of anger there. I thought, right, well, I'm going to do it this time. I'm going to make sure I do it this time. And I thought he'd done it. I thought, right at the start of the break, I thought he's going to do it. And then that penultimate red, he had to drop it in dead weight, and it just held up, didn't it?
No, it was amazing, and the fact that the other match had finished early meant that he had the whole arena to himself. Talking about the other match, Dominic Dale against Michael Wasley. Michael was fantastic, generated loads of great headlines when he knocked out Ding. He came out at 12-4 down, and really, he was on a little bit of a hiding to nothing. I think he's already done brilliantly to show that he's got the temperament for the big occasion. Nice handshake there for Dominic Dale. And he's through to the last 8 for the first time in 14 years. And I know we sort of, with him, not to him, we have fun with Dominic about the shoes and the dyed hair and all that. But
and the singing.
And the singing, and by the way, he's promised that he will sing a song if he reaches the semi-final, but he's shouting to us now behind the studio. He's got the small matter of a quarter-final against last year's runner-up Barry Hawkins. But sometimes people don't necessarily give Dominic's achievements the respect they deserve, because after all, he's a double-ranking event winner. He's been around a long time, and technically, when he's going well, he's class.
Absolutely right. And Dominic himself, when he came into the press conference afterwards, said, well, people might say I've had an easy run so far. Make no mistake about it, he's playing well. He's playing really, really well. He's Dominic Dale here. He's when he gets in the balls, he doesn't look like he's going to miss. He takes his time, makes sure he plays the right shots. He wouldn't have expected to have been playing Michael Wasley, who, with all due respect to Michael, admitted that his cup final, if you like, was against Ding, and he couldn't get himself up to that level again. And I think Dom always sensed he was struggling a little bit, and he saw it in over the line. But he's playing well. He's playing really well, Dominic, and I think he deserves the credit that he should be getting.
Yeah, he certainly does. Well, we caught up with him after his official press conference to get his thoughts, and there's never a dull moment where Dale's concerned.
Well, Dominic Dale is into the quarter-finals here at the Crucible for the first time in 14 years. Dominic, it did only require a single frame, but nonetheless, you needed to come out and focus and get the job done. And what does it mean to you to be rolling back the clock that far? There must have come a point where you thought you'd never reach a quarter-final here again.
Yeah, I mean, I've played here for the last 3 years and had Judd Trump twice and Ronnie, so quite tough draws, you know. Obviously not expected to win those matches, but and obviously not being familiar as they to playing here at the Crucible, it was always a tough match for me, those. But I always felt I had a chance against Mark Davis, a great player though he is. I think his results haven't been great the last 2 or 3 months, so I knew I had a chance if I could play well and produce against him, and I was very surprised how well I played in that first session. Forged out a really good lead and I was able to hang on to it. You know, then I've got Michael Wasley, the conqueror of Ding. Well, you know, he's not going to mind playing me after beating Ding. So I knew, again, I'd have to play well. And, you know, I scored heavily against Mike and put him in a difficult position, being 7-1 down. And, again, it was just a case of, you know, if he wins a frame, I'll win a frame sort of thing and just keep my lead. That's all I really wanted to do. But, you know, managed to win quite comfortably in the end.
Do you think he was emotionally tired after that epic decider against Ding, which he did so magnificently to win?
I watched those last 2 frames. He was absolute Superman in those last 2 frames. I mean, brilliant performance. I don't think he'd have been fatigued. He's young and he's fit. He trains a lot. He is super fit, Mike was. He eats well, and he wouldn't have been fatigued. I don't think he had quite a few days off before he played me, so he would have been all right.
So let's turn our attention to Barry Hawkins in the quarter-finals. In this match you've just won, you probably started favourite. It's going to be the other way round. Barry made the finals last year. He's right up, performing the best snooker we've ever seen from him in his career. So you'll probably start that one as underdog. Are you more comfortable with that role?
I don't mind that because, you know, no matter what happens now, quarterfinals is a good achievement for somebody like me who hasn't won ranking events for a little while. But at the same time, I know I'm capable of beating him. But I won't carry any pressure into the match because I feel I've done all right. I've got good ranking points now for the prize money list next year. And quarterfinals of the world is a good achievement for me. So I'm looking forward to the match. Luckily, I've had 2 comfortable victories, so I'm not fatigued myself going into the match. That's good. So I've got every chance of beating Barry, but he's a fantastic player. He's world number 4, and he's world number 4 because he's so consistent. He's a great break builder, great safety player. He pots good long balls. He's got a great technique, and of course, it's going to be a very, very tough match. But I'm really, really looking forward to it.
And what about the footwear? We were devastated this afternoon that you didn't come out with the zebra slip-ons. Will you be donning them for the quarter-final?
Yeah, I think I'll. I mean, listen, the quarterfinals against Barry is a tough match. I might not get through it. I don't know, but I'll probably wear them now for the remainder of the tournament. Yeah, however long I'm in it for now.
Breaking news, Dominic Dale will be wearing the zebras, and he has clarified a couple of times he got the last pair in the shop in Cardiff, so if you do like the look of the shoes, I'm sorry, they're all sold out. Dominic, congratulations.
Yeah, but just one little thing. If you ordered a pair of shoes for your shop like the ones I've been wearing, do you think you'd order more than 1 pair? It's a bit risky, isn't it?
They don't call him the spaceman for nothing. I mean, he's just brilliant to watch, and he will believe he's got a chance against Barry Hawkins. Interesting tomorrow that the first 2 quarterfinals, we've obviously got Dominic against Barry, and the other one is Mark Selby against Alan McManus. So both Dale and McManus are sort of rolling back the clock, if you like. Dale's not quite as old as Alan McManus, but McManus and Dale are not necessarily 2 names we would have expected to see in the last 8, but it's great for the tournament that they're both there and both have a chance to take on Barry and Mark for a place in the semis.
And I give them both a chance. I think I give Dom more of a chance, with all due respect to Alan. If Selby brings his game, I think Alan might find it tough, albeit I thought he played really well against Ken Doherty. Dominic, great to hear him speaking with so much confidence there. He knows he can beat Barry Hawkins. There's no reason why he can't. He has done it in the past. Okay, Hawkins is so consistent now, which is why he's number 4 in the world. But as you mentioned, I commentated on his game with Ricky Walden, and it was patchy. He saw it out really well, albeit Ricky's head had gone a little bit towards the end. But Barry played in patches, so he lost 5 frames, I think, in one session when Ricky was really feeling well. But there's no reason, the way Dominic's playing, that he can't give Hawkins trouble. Of course, as he mentions, he's a big underdog, and he knows that, and I think he'll thrive upon that as well.
He certainly will. Well, let's go back to the climax of the Robbo against Alan match, because after Dominic and Wosley went off, the screen went up, and they were centre stage. You've mentioned about the black. No matter how many times Robbo sees that, he probably will never believe that it didn't drop. That was he was on 94. That would have been 101, and he wanted to do it with Hendry in the box.
Yeah, he said that was his immediate reaction, because Hendry had been giving him stick about not being a great break builder. But yeah, he glanced up straight away, and even when he struck it, he thought it was in. It wasn't as if he twitched a little bit and thought, hang on a minute, I might have missed this. He struck it and thought, yeah, that's going to drop. And it was surprised more than anything that it didn't drop. And there was a real gasp for both those. I know you dashed into the arena to...
I didn't want to miss it. Absolute history in the making.
Yeah, we were all on tent hooks, on tiptoes, and peering around where we could. And I think none of us could believe that he missed it. He will get it done. I know he'll get it done. It'll probably come in the next session.
Yeah, well, he's got a really good chance. We've got the other one as well. Just Nick, if you can play that.
Yeah, this was tougher. He had to kind of roll it in deadish weight. He struck it very confidently, and it just rattled again. And Mark Allen, look at him there. He really wanted him to do it as well. He was smiling, and he really wanted him to do it.
Oh, it was brilliant. Mark Allen, you could sort of tell from that angle, but not 100%, as some of the crowd responded with a standing ovation. Allen went down and gave it the big salute and said, mate, you were absolutely awesome. And he's a tough player to beat here, Mark Allen. Semi-finalist, I think, in 2009, and he might have beaten Ronnie earlier on in 2009. Double quarter-finalist, and when he's good, he plays fantastic snooker. He really didn't get a chance in that session, and if Robbo can reproduce that for the rest of the tournament, he is going to be so hard to beat.
Well, Mark Allen there was as much as a spectator as we were watching it. He, on his day, he's as watchable as Neil Robertson. We talk about what a fabulous, fluent left-hander Robertson is. When Allen gets in amongst the balls, he's just as good to watch. Very aggressive, great long potter. But he just did not get a sniff. And to play like he did, I mean, I lost track of how many unanswered points Robertson had, but it was a fairly immense statistic. And Allen was just blowing away. Neil, very gracious afterwards, said he still thinks Allen's going to come back and win a world title. He's certainly got the game to do that. Allen, from his part, said, not even Ronnie. If Neil plays like that, no one in the draw, and that includes Ronnie O'Sullivan waiting at the top, no one can trouble him. And when we put that to Robertson, he said, yeah, I think he's right. I'm playing brilliant at the moment. If I can find that, I'm going to be tough to beat.
Yeah, there is a steel in the Australian's eyes, and there certainly was when I caught up with him after the official press conference that George is talking about.
Well, this is the man who has literally kept us on the edge of our seats, locked on 99. Neil, that was quite some session of snooker, and to dispatch a player of the quality of Mark Allen in that manner must be hugely gratifying.
Yeah, absolutely. I think sort of doing it in the first round was very satisfying. But to play like that against one of the world's best players in Mark Allen, those last 4 frames I played fantastically well, and I can't really fault my performance at all.
You're always very easygoing and accommodating off the table, but it really looks as though there's a steel to your game. You have brought your very best form here to the Crucible at the end of a long, hard season. It really seems as though you're absolutely fired up for this year. Yeah,
I mean, since the UK, I was really determined to do well in the Masters, which didn't work out. But after the Masters, I kind of took my foot off the gas a little bit. I knew that I couldn't go flat out for the entire season like I did last season. I came here with no sort of drive or energy at all. So, I went out quite early in a few tournaments, but I wasn't really too bothered about it as such. I knew that I needed to get rest and to sort of get that spark again, sort of heading towards this championship.
Let's talk about the ton of tons. I mean, that black, it almost looked like it was destined to go down. You almost couldn't believe it. None of us could believe that it didn't go.
Yeah, I know. I mean, when I played it, I thought I hit it. I thought I hit it perfect. All the crowd were like, "Yeah," and I was about to, look up at Stephen Hendry, go, "Yeah," but it just didn't go in and just hit the jaw several times. And I don't know. Maybe that's just the snooker gods just telling you guys to wait a little bit longer. A bit more tension.
Is it getting distracting? Because obviously your priority number one is to win a second world title. It's not to get a ton of tons. That would be a handy bonus. But is all the sort of hype and us guys building it up, is that making it more than it should be?
When I came here, I think I was on 92 or 93, so it looked possibly odds against, but the way I've played the first couple of matches, I've got to 99, so I'm really happy with that. And now I'm on 99. It's not really sort of, it doesn't really bother me too much. When I was on 95, 96, still fair bit of work to do, but 99, I got a best out of 25, and as long as I maintain my focus and play well, then I'll probably just get there without even thinking about it.
Well, let's talk about that quarter-final. It will be Judd Trump or Ryan Day. Judd's in a commanding position at the moment. You've beaten Mark Allen. It could be Judd Trump next, and then even bigger players await potentially in the semi-final. If you're going to win this again, you're doing it the hard way in a tough half of the draw. Yeah,
I think when the draw came out, it was definitely the toughest quarter. There's no doubts about that whatsoever. But in saying that, people have let good draws slip before, but I think the fact that I know that I have to play my best is probably good for me. I know that I have to go out there. I know I have to play my best snooker to win. So, you don't expect any easy draws at this stage of the championships, and my next match definitely won't be easy either.
Well done today. We were enthralled every step of the way. See you for the quarters.
All right, cheers, Rob. Thanks, mate.
Well, a pretty cool customer, Neil Robertson, and why wouldn't he be with the kind of form he's shown already? Fingers crossed the ton of tons will come. He will be playing, as we mentioned in that interview, either Judd Trump or Ryan Day. They will be coming on centre stage at 7 o'clock. Now, though, if you're already thinking that you're going to have withdrawal symptoms from top-class snooker, then fear not, because from today, tickets are available for the Champion of Champions in Coventry in November, for the UK Championship, which will once again be in York, and for the Masters next January in Ali Pali. You can get them whilst they're going fresh.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here, you can take a break. I'm a hot air balloon that could go to space. With the air, like I don't care, baby, by the way. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof.
Well, it almost seems crazy to be thinking about next year's World Championship when we've still got a full 7 days of action to go in this one. But the day after the champion wakes up with a cheque for 300 grand and the other real version of this trophy, they wouldn't let us have the actual one in the studio. Tickets will go on sale for the Worlds on Tuesday, the 6th of May. Now, it takes an awful lot of people in an awful lot of places to ensure that the players can focus 100% on what they need to do on the sport's biggest stage here at the Crucible. And we've gone down into the bowels of the arena here at the Crucible to check out life underneath, directly underneath the big stage. Well, those of you who watch the snooker will be more than familiar with where we are now. This is the Champions Board. This is where the players wait before I finish my cheesy introductions and they walk out on stage. But we're actually going to go beneath the stage to give you an indication as to what has to happen in order for the Crucible to be made ready for the snooker. So follow me. That's Rob, one of our security guys. He's trying to hide. It's a real labyrinth, this place, and it takes an awful lot of people to prepare the arena for action. So we're heading understage. And the two guys we're about to meet, Slav and Will, spend a long time preparing the bowels of the arena for action. Morning, Will.
Morning.
So, yeah, good to see you. So, Will, just talk us through. You're down here in the dungeons, in the darkness, but you guys are responsible for changing the Crucible set to make sure it's ready for the snooker. So, just give us a little indication how long or how many weeks that takes and what it actually involves in terms of manpower and expertise.
Okay, well, we started on last Saturday. The Saturday previous. It takes 7 days to build. There's about 10 crew who work all together.
Wow.
And we build all the sets and also all the grids for trussing over the tables. And we do also all the video screens, all the video distribution, and some of the audio relay.
And do you guys follow the circuit all around Britain, all around the world, or are you only brought in for the World Championship?
No, we follow it all around Europe. In August we're going to Latvia. Yeah, we stay with the tour.
And many people would want to know, is the floor one of those theatres where it can be moved up or down on hydraulics, or is it a set level?
It isn't. It's a set level. It can be adjusted slightly, but yeah, it's more or less at a set level. It's not hydraulic.
And is this a particularly difficult arena to prepare, or is it just the same as all the others?
It's fairly difficult, fairly easy really. It's just a blank canvas when we come in, so it's easy to put all the rigging points in from the grid. So yeah, it's quite good.
Well, what's really amazing is that you do actually have to stay relatively quiet in there, don't you? Because that is directly under the play.
Yeah, the tables are literally just above us there, so any noise you have to be careful. Do it while the audience are clapping. Any movements you need to make.
Okay, thanks very much, Will. Well, this is Slav, the other half of the dynamic duo responsible for making sure the Crucible is ready for action. Slav, how long have you been involved on the snooker circuit now? We seem to have seen you around for a while.
I'm 5.5 years on the snooker, and I like snooker. Prefer more to do snooker job than other jobs.
And is it quite nice to be back here at the Crucible?
Yeah, I like Crucible. First 2 years I hate it was hard to me, but now I like every year more and more.
Well, keep on coming back and keep on doing such a good job. Right, we're actually going to lower our voices a little bit in here. It's going to appear quite dark as far as you're concerned here. I'll try and stop under one of the lights. We are literally standing beneath the stage, and I'm not sure whether the microphones can actually pick this up, but you can hear the floorboards creaking when the players are down on a shot. I'm not sure which side of the arena we're on at the moment. We've got Tom Ford and Judd Trump on one side, and we've got Barry Hawkins up against Dave Gilbert on the other. So it's really weird to think that literally about 2 feet above where my fingertips are, that is the floor of the Crucible Arena, which is being broadcast live, and you can hear the thud of feet moving around the table. And the really odd thing, just to finish off with, all the water is stored down here, by the way, because they have to use all the space available. We really do, really do have to keep our voices down here, because as we go round this corner, we're actually on calf and knee level with the players. So I am going to keep my voice down, and I'll finish by letting Nick get in there. This is the very, very side-on angle of the two tables, and literally beneath that air vent are the feet of the players and the cameramen. So a little backstage tour for you here at the Crucible. Some of the hard work that happens backstage to ensure those guys out there can perform at the top of their ability. It's pretty dark, so I'm going to get out of here. My face is a frightening image at the best of times, let alone illuminated by somebody's torch on a mobile phone. But it's ridiculous.
Like Rob Walker's ghost stories.
It's crazy how tight it is for space down there. Right, let's finish off just by talking about the two matches that will be concluding live on the BBC this evening at 7 o'clock to wrap up our qualifiers for the quarterfinals. We've touched already on Judd resuming 10-6 up against Ryan Day. He's in the driving seat, and it is looking good for the ace in the pack, the Pride of Bristol.
I think he's far enough ahead to see that one through. There are a couple of frames which Day will be kicking himself for, which Judd pinched earlier on in this match, and I think that lead will just be too much. The way Judd can rattle off frames pretty quickly and in quick succession, I will see Judd coming through that tonight. The other match, I think, is a little bit trickier to call because Marco has played some really, really good stuff. He could be level in that one. Sean obviously has played great because he's in the lead, and if he hadn't done, he wouldn't be winning. But they're both knocking in big breaks. It's a repeat of, was it the quarterfinal at the Masters, which Sean won, and it's been really, really high quality. We were blessed in seeing that and Robertson on the other table. I think Sean might just nick it, but I don't say that with a great degree of confidence.
Yeah, because as you say, Marco's done well to hang on. He's only trailing by 2 frames, and they also played, as well as that quarter-final in the Masters, they were 9-all in the UK Championship final a few years ago. So we have an epic climax tonight. Judd against Ryan Day for the right to face Neil Robertson, and in the other half of the draw, Murphy or Fu to face Ronnie O'Sullivan. It's a mouth-watering prospect. You can tune in live 7 o'clock on the BBC, which is, as we record, literally about half an hour or so away. And then tomorrow we're down to the last 8. We're getting towards the business end of this Dafabet World Snooker Championship. Thanks for your company. We will chat more tomorrow. In the meantime, from George and myself, good night.